Hi, I am Malavali, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. We are going to discuss about requirement engineering process. First, we need to know what is requirement engineering. Requirement engineering help us to clearly understand what customer actually want before we start the development. Okay, we can define requirement engineering as process of identifying, eliciting, analyzing, specifying, validating, and managing the needs and expectation of the shareholder for the software system. We can also say that in simple words, we can say requirement engineering is nothing but document and maintaining the requirements. We can also say that if any part of the requirement engineering, we can say it as the foundation of software development life cycle. Around of 60 to 70% of software failure happen before of poor requirements. So our target is to briefly process each step and to develop the project with the better results. Here are the steps: feasibility study, requirement illustration, requirement specification, requirement verification and validation, requirement management. In the requirement engineering process, the first step is the feasibility study. From the word itself, here we are going to do some study process to get a feasible report. The end of the feasible study, we provide the report for the technical, economic, operational and schedule. We generate a feasibility report. First, what we need to understand what is feasibility study. Feasibility study is a outline and analyze several alternative or method of achieving business success. In simple words, it deals with the alternative of scenarios and to study the project and to identify the best business solutions. Okay, the four main steps are technical feasibility, economic feasibility, operational feasibility and schedule feasibility. First is the technical feasibility. Evaluate if the project can be built with suitable technology, resources and the expenses. Economic feasibility. We estimate the cost, revenue, return of investment. In the operational feasibility, we focus on the organization support project day-to-day operations. In the schedule feasibility, we determine if the project can be complete within the reasonable time frame. This After analyzing this for feasibility, will generate the report. In the technical feasibility, we will say which are resources technology can be provided, which are needed for the project. In the economic feasibility, we specify the cost for the technology and the resource. In the operational feasibility, what are available in the day-to-day life. In the schedule feasibility, we will put the schedule as per the work goes. Requirement elicitation. After the feasibility study report, we focus on requirement elicitation. Requirement elicitation is nothing but requirement gathering. The importance of requirement gathering is if we want to develop a successful project, we must get a best requirement from the customer. So, to get the requirements, we need to focus mainly how the requirements can be understood very easily. Okay, now we'll go to what is requirement elicitation. Requirement elicitation is nothing but here the customer and the shareholder communicate with each other about the requirements. Here the customer will give all the requirement to the shareholder. The shareholder get the requirement in this following method. In one of this method: interview, questionnaire, workshop, observation, prototype. We know what is interview. Interview is nothing but face-to-face communication. So here the shareholder and the customer or the client directly communicate with each other and the shareholder get the requirement. Questionnaire is nothing but in the large group will ask the general questions, and in this method we collect the requirements. Workshop is the nothing but it's group discussion. Here all the customer or the client will be in a group, and the shareholder gets the requirement from the clients, and summarize all the requirement. Next is the observation. Here, the user current work is observed clearly, and this observation, based on their observation, the shareholder gets the requirement what is needed for the client to be developed. The last step is the prototyping. Here, the customer will provide a sample model for the requirements. These model are well observed by the shareholder for developing the project. The goal of the requirement realization is nothing but here we need to provide all the requirements, and these requirements must be understandable to the shareholders. The requirement analysis and the negotiation. After getting the requirement, we analyze the collected requirement. We identify the conflict and inconsistencies, and we'll remove the duplicate requirement, detect the conflicts, resolve the ambiguity, prioritize the requirement. Here we focus mainly on removing the unwanted things, so what the customer have provided, and change it into a uh, useful plan. In the requirement specification step, as we discussed in the earlier slide, we will change everything into a useful plan. Okay, these plans are documented in the form of software requirement specification, which is SRS. All the requirements are documented in the IEEE SRS standard or IEEE 830 standard or any IEEE format. Okay, this document must cover the all these three types of requirement: functional, non-functional requirement, domain requirement. Uh, uh, this document we need to cover what are the functional requirements is nothing but what are the system requirements need to be satisfied. We say what the system need to do, what are the process need to be developed step by step. All these are defined in the functional requirement. In the non-functional requirement, here we will provide the performance, security, safety, usability, and all the necessary aspects which does not include in the functional requirements. Last is the domain requirement. Domain requirement, sorry. Domain requirement is nothing but the industry specific rules. If whatever project we develop, it must obey the industry standards and rule, and all the rules must be specified in the SRS documents. Next step is the requirement validation. Requirement validation is nothing but we are checking whether the requirement which we collected and document, whether it is correct or not. First method is review and inspection. Here we will check whether all the requirements that are being documented can be changed into a useful product, and all the rules and regulations followed have been documented, must be can be executed or can be done in the real time. We need to check. In the prototyping, here we'll create a sample model, and we check whether this model satisfy all the SRS, both the functional, non-functional, and the domain requirements. Test case generation. The word itself, it says that test case, both the positive and the negative test case are designed, and these are done on the model. uh, Overall, the overall is to ensure that the requirement is correct, complete, consistent, and testable. Management is nothing but changes during the development. Changes may occur while we develop the model. So In this, we need to provide all the methods like change management, version controls, requirement traceable matrix, impact analysis. These four steps are done with the alternative methods for the change of requirements. Thank you.